We are live, ladies and gentlemen. So much going on in the world. Just thought, hey, let's have a conversation. Wind down a little bit. Well, I know from my side of the world. Not sure. But anyway, just thought I'd chill on here, see what we can do. And what I mean by happy hour is whatever you may want to take it as. Don't specify. Just to be a happy hour for you. That's it. That's a blessing in itself. It's just sometimes for people like, I don't know, for people like myself who have different interests, who enjoy different things, I'm wondering, let me see here. This is loud. We just got started. Yeah, man. Trying to see how this works. I don't think, let me see here. Can I? Let me see here. Is this okay? Okay. So then, hey. But yes, that's all. Man, I just want to get a conversation going. So much is going on in the world. Maybe not just hang out, use some watch hours. It's another reason too. The lives are great for watch hours while I work on these videos. Whew, in between life, in between everything else. But if you want it, you're gonna fight. If you want it, ouch. So while I chill here, mm-hmm, we're just getting started, kids. So I don't know if it sounds crazy or airy or anything. Please let me know what's happening. Hey, talking to Ken folk. Bon Eric. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Please feel free to hit the link. I'm just up. Let's I didn't really I was kind of scrolling through and didn't really see anything interesting that I wanted to talk about. So I said, wait a minute. Might be some folks out here just up for some good convo. I'm in the phase of transitioning the pages. But please feel free to come on up. Even though some may think I like the sound of my voice, I really do like having conversations. I really do. And everybody think I want to argue with them. I don't. I've had so many men tell me that out here. I know you just want to argue. They don't even realize they got PTSD. We all do from these chat rooms, and what you call what is not chat, not just chat rooms. Um, these, yeah, just the rooms. Shoot, different rooms. We ain't no different. Shoot, we act like we are in school on here, but we act like that anywhere. Have a group of people in a situation and just people watch. Man, I think people have PTSD out here because especially the dudes, because y'all scream at each other a lot. Y'all don't care. Y'all will yell, cuss each other out. Let a woman scream at you. Child, it's 88 degrees out because calling the police, this woman does scream. Or the condescending voice. Ooh, Lord. Don't talk to me that way. No, not that. But anyway, yes, people have PTSD out here. That's why people don't come up and just randomly talk. That's why you got the same crew that's willing on whatever sector or wherever you go. Because it is, you know, it's not even so much like the arrangement is, when you look at it on YouTube or whatever, the person's at the top, the chat's at the bottom. There's dynamics to all of it. However, I think we're so used to arguing with each other. Like, what do we do for fun anymore? Like, and I'm not talking about going on a cruise or whatever. I'm saying, like, now what do we do? What's our social outlets? Are we in different hobbies, So, like I said, chopping it up, you want to have a conversation, jump on in. And plus, too, I'm making sure the sound is minimum quality at least. So I can cut these up, put shorts together, which I think is kind of cool, right? I'm glad to know, Mr. Von Eric, that you are good. But you know what they do be like, oh, she's a witch Broomhilda. That's how they act. People talking. But anyway, yeah, so another thing that was on my mind was what has been going on. Dubai. The fact that Dubai has been seeding their clouds or seeding clouds, period. So you don't know which ones are the ones, I guess. But they done made it rain too much. Hey, stop that. Get out of here, you plastic person. I apologize. DJ's decided to eat plastic. Stop. I'm sorry. But please feel free to hit the link. Let me make sure it's posted. No. That's why I'm not really like giving too much heads up, I guess, because I am trying to revamp everything. And I have to I have to do it all in one swoop, huh? Trying to revamp everything. My own self out. Yeah, I did. Oh, that's not fair. Ew. No. Oh my. Oh shoot. Oh man, that's so funny. Oh shoot. Okay, wait, stop. Okay, that's not what I need. Okay, stop. Hi. I'm hit the link. Come up, love. So much going on in the words, in the weed. I'm doing this from my phone, so I'm like, yeah, it's really jazzy. It only gives me some things I can do. I can't. I don't. I don't believe I can share my screen with this. Yeah, I don't think it's not allowing. It's not allowing me to do this. I I'm gonna have to close down. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, I've been doing these little impromptus because I'm trying to put this together. I had somebody yelling at me like, "Why you always saying I? What you want me to say? They? I have to. I thought proving your pronouns was a problem in the neighborhood, but they like, why you always saying I? Well, who else am I gonna talk about? The people that I'm working with, they not on here with me. Some of the craziest arguments out here. I'm like, what is wrong? But please feel free to hit the like. Come on up. Come on up. I don't think that's the words, but yeah. So I'm looking to chop it up, have a conversation, not with myself. Let's see who's on here. Let's see what kind of conversations. Plus, I only been on here for 13 minutes, so I'm in no rush. Hmm. It's some watch hours. I hope everybody's doing okay. Thank you for coming by, helping a sister out. I just want to be better. Oh man, what is going on? I don't know if anybody is watching uh, the travesty that is Donald Trump. That brother need help. Woo-wee. He is off the hook, but not really. He's just outwardly. He don't care. Like people act like this all the time behind closed doors, right? Laws and rules and the pettiness that goes on. However, he don't care. He don't care. And now he done jumped on a bandwagon child talking about black people love him. And then I'm like, no, black men love you. Black men love you. Not black women, as the numbers say. Hello. Wale, welcome. Please, you can more than welcome to hit the link. You know. Yes. Truth is It's underrated, right? Truth is underrated because then when you truth for human beings and facts, I think have split. People want to have always chosen, you know, what they want to say, who they want to talk to. I think that there's segments of us who want to see better for the state of our community, whatever you may deem it to be. And there's segments of people getting together and trying to help those issues. I don't believe we all need to get along to make change. I just don't. I don't think that. I think if we have, I put it always to urban planning. We call it urban planning, but you can call it suburban planning, rural planning. You put whatever you want in front of it. The point is, when do we create the safe spaces to keep our truth, to keep the facts safe so that they'll continue on? Do we have a vault somewhere where we need to have a vault like Walt Disney? You know what I mean? Black folks should have time capsules all through this piece. Because then we can share what the future will always look like. No matter if technology changes or it goes out, leave a VHS behind. Get your Blu-ray set, some discs, some tapes. They still make that stuff. And we can start sharing our stories, our truths. Because what's true for one may not be true for the other. We know this. But there's a segment of us large enough that we all can seem to gravitate to each other as energy does. Because it never stops moving, just redirecting. And you meet people, you run into folks. It's only humans that are in getting in the way of other humans. So they got there first, right? All the brown people just trying to chill in their islands or wherever they live, kicking in. And here comes somebody, we want progress. No, what you want is a new place to live because y'all done had the bubonic plague. Y'all done had all of these horrible diseases on the other side of the pond. And um, that has almost wiped you out. Human beings study other human beings. That's what we do. Whether we watch them, listen to them, read about them. That's all. That's what we're doing. We talk about. I was on a panel, and I listened to these gentlemen speak of, what is considered a cult or culture. Um, you want you don't want to see people caught up, right? I believe that if the religious aspect was taken out of the equation, where somebody always with a horrible intentions get to then change people's minds. We know, we listen to people all the time. We quote other people. We recite, from books that are written by other human beings. right? To study the places that we may never set foot, to read about, to learn about, to see the progression, regardless of whatever segment feels it's not good or it is good. Things change. And human beings have a hard time with change. That's why progress takes so long. Progress takes a long time, however, because you have segments of the community, segments of government, segments of human beings who will fight at all costs to stop the any kind of positivity. So that's why I'm getting closer to my goals on one end for my channel now. So once we are up and running, then we'll have another channel added. We'll just be showing you the process. And this will be talking about, the world and how it affects us. Because it does. Everything that's going on is affecting us here. The wars, the changes in the wars on this soil, the war between people who want to control the narrative, people who want to have power. You know what's funny to me? When people say, well, the Democrats this and the Republicans that, okay, I got you, I'll give you that. Yes. Duped? Yes. Have we all been duped? Yes. Do politicians dupe us? Yes. All of them, whatever color. And we know where it started, but it still continues on. And we haven't pulled nobody's coattails, really, to go, we're not going to accept it. I don't understand why that's not the case. Hold on, y'all, real quick. All right, I'm back. Thank you for that pause. However, here we are, 2024 today. So what's happening? What's going on? I probably shouldn't have ate that pepperoni. My bad. Excuse me. That's rude. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, when we look at strategy, right? When we talk about the strategy of change, everyone that we quote, everyone that we watch, everybody that we say, oh, did you read this or did you watch this? To make you more culturally aware or deeper in this particular segment of people. Regardless of the knowledge, well, regardless of the education, let's put it that way. So if you go and read these books, that's what I meant. If you go and read these books and don't apply anything, what's the point? What's the point? I know that there are people who feel the way that I do. I know that there are people who are burnt out and don't want to do or know what to do. And I'm not saying I have. all the answers either. My name ain't Sway. Kanye ain't gonna be yelling at me talking about I think I know all the answers. So, but anyway, I where my frustration is that where what plan is talked about? Am I missing that somewhere? Because it's like when I ask a particular set of questions, they get brushed over. Doesn't matter who, just get brushed over. Silence, no response. Whether you agree with me or don't, whether you think I'm a scammer or not, whether you have reservations about me, whether you know me or you don't know me, you understand my dream, you donated, you didn't donate, whatever the case may be, please do not deny me the ability to, yes, I still am working on a project. However, that has nothing to do with the knowledge I still have retained. I'm putting the knowledge part is me being educated and learning something or doing something and applying it. That's your knowledge. You can be book smart. You know how we say that you can be book smart or street smart. Um, but I think you have to be a little bit of all of it, especially if you want to survive. Whether that's surviving work, um, your relationship, the education of your kids. Life, society, us as human beings has made life very tough for each other. To prove what I don't know. So I still am standing in the box of while I'm speaking about this, I'm also attempting to put it in practice. So maybe somebody can give me some feedback in their attempt or their practice, or maybe they just have advice, or have I looked at this, or have I looked at that? I'm all for it, but we don't even get there. I get silence. I get, they're going to break it down. It turns into military, it turns into violence. It's never talked about on the education level. Okay, so do we want to build homes for these people, or do we want to have barracks? Do we want to have it more of a homey type of feel? Are we going into, are we going to have a elderly segment, a teen segment? What can we bring to a city or a small location that is entertaining? None of that. We don't even get to that conversation. I'd love to with other people. We don't like stuff no more. We don't. We've got so many secretly talented people of melanation all over this country that are in lanes all by themselves, or maybe it's on like three or four of them. Everyone needs a seat at the table, and everyone needs representation, whether we agree with them or not. That's how you get a message across. That's why a person that can look like one of the bumpuses can feel comfortable still in 2020, 24. I said 2020 many times, but in 2024, um, you know, they want they want to be angry. Then you've got our brothers from the ones wearing suits to the ones that's wearing Tims still talking about Donald Trump is the truth. That's why I have a concern about truth and facts are two different times, two different things. Bougie, welcome, Bougie. Oh, so excited. Anytime I see your name, like my Facebook. Anyway, I just wanted to chat. I want to talk. I want to hit home. Maybe say some controversial things, if anybody's willing. That's my outlet. That's how I box. That's far. My, we get so caught up, you know, to say that oh, this is truth. Yeah, but facts are different than truth. The facts sometimes don't match. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's got a little bit of a good, got some sour in it where it should be sweet. That's human beings, right? We human in all the time. We all sit at one point or another alone in a moment where nobody hears your thoughts. Nobody knows what you're truly thinking. Unless it's somebody that, you trust and love and that know you, or someone who's observing you, not stalking, observing you. As a friend or a coworker or however, we have the ability to put out energy, low frequency, high frequency, magnetic frequency, like there's levels, right? All of that is fantastic, excuse me. However, we can't have the conversation about building apartment buildings, or we can't have a conversation. It's almost like, this is why I ask people and they think I'm being condescending. Just because you're an adult, you don't have to lose your imagination. Just because you're an adult, you don't have. An adult is a medical descriptor of a fully formed human body. That's all. That's the definition of adult. Now we've added different things. We tell our children, you're an adult at 18, yet scientific study, meaning science, the study of, has shown that your brain physically stops growing around the age of 25. But we say, and we, by what I say by we, I'm an American. I'm in this country. Nobody ever asked us to vote on what age should be an adult. I don't think 18 is it. Never have I thought that. I've worked with 18-year-olds. I was 18. And I was not. There's a larger segment of kids who were probably not thinking, let me fix the world, when us as adults continue to live through our children vicariously. We tell them, don't grow up too fast, yet we want you to grow up fast. And that's why I say fact and truth don't always, they don't always work. The truth is, yes, anybody that's over the age of 18 is considered a legal adult in this country. You have doors open to you across the country based on the states and the main government. No, they probably did. Oh, it was lower. It was lower than 18. And it was. I don't think you're wrong. I think that's a good theory. I was part of it. People did go out of here earlier. Shoot, some of these, listen, they are pulling and I meant my state pulled out a 1865 or 64 band. So you telling me we can't go use some stuff? We can't change some things? What's happening now is bruh, I don't know. 'Cause none of us was here. Yes, that's all it's about. That's why I think about it. Do they have start your own business fairs at high school in high schools? Oh, we have a guest, I think. It is Yes, 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 yes.
Hey,
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 welcome.
sis.
What's up?
Not much, just hanging around.
Popping around. Hold
Just
on
hanging
real quick. Let me change this. I don't like this layout here. I don't. I'm doing it on my phone, so
right, just hanging
I'm
around.
learning how to. Yeah, I'm learning how to play around with it. But definitely don't like that. I'm real big and you real small. Like that look crazy. Hold on,
It's
I'm
really
trying to.
compact on your phone.
Yeah, it is. So how you been? Been okay?
All right, just going on different
Good.
festivals and talking and different stuff.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Good.
you remember Serpent.
Yes.
Back in the day,
That's
I
my
had been on his
boy.
channel. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I know who Surfing is.
yes, sir. I've been
He
on his.
cracks me up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
All
he's.
right, there we go. That's better. But as I wrap that up,
Mm-hmm.
I do think that forgetting how scared and confused you were at the age of 18 on average, not
Right.
um we tell kids they grown, we send them off to share their lives with complete strangers and then wonder why it is easier for us as adults to speak to strangers rather than our family when
Right.
we've indoctrinated that, but then expect as parents that our kids feel open. Well, obviously they don't. That's why people don't be knowing stuff, right? This is why
Mm-hmm.
you gotta, check up on your kids. However, the reasoning for another part of it is there was the war as well, the different wars, World War I, World War II. Because I think in World War I they allowed men of they allowed boys to enlist because there wasn't enough grown men. So they were allowing babies that was 14, 15, 16, 17 years old enlist in the military.
Right.
So, and it wasn't hard to do,
Okay.
right? Like, what's the paperwork on that? However, now we're talking about 2024, and I hear a lot of panels, and especially in the age groups of, I would say, late 30s to mid 50s, complaining about this generation of people when we are the producers of these people.
Right.
They didn't grow from a separate tree.
Yeah.
People, the education, the experiences of their lives have all geared. And we know this. We have proof. We know what it looks like. We can see what 60, 70, 80, 90 even years of if you do this is what you'll look like. If you do that, you're supposed to warn the people ahead, the next group, so they can do better. I thought that was the purpose.
Right.
But that's not what happened. Have more money and live better. Not how you get the money, not where you get the money, but just have it. It stopped being, where we had programs and stuff that would help way more for these kids to go to college. What happened to the United States Negro College Fund? What happened to them? Did they close?
No, I'm not sure. I did
Yeah,
I did fast for with my I'm doing
yeah.
fast for now with my
But
daughters.
but that's what I'm saying. These opportunities that were created for us to
Hmm.
benefit our lives, but yet and still we feel as though information and growing to the next level is something that can't be attained. But however, we know in truth that people lost their lives for us to have the ability to read and go to college or higher education. And I think we've just like gone away from that. It didn't used to be it took 4 years for you to go to get a degree in teaching. It was 2 years. And when you look at the breakdown, why is it that we are gearing we allow them publicly. We put taxes into these schools that have our children for 12 years. Yet they come out of school with no skill. Knowing that it's not like we live in a completely technical world. Like everything is on it's like we live in like the Jetsons. That's the way they act. Like people still driving Eldorados, okay? But anyway, Ama, what's on your mind? The conversation can go wherever because I'm not on a real like a topic per se.
Oh no, I'm just hanging. It's so many, like you said, so much going on. Where do we start? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Wherever
But
you want to start.
what you were saying is definitely significant. Everything you say.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. But I wanna see that change. And what's funny to me is why why would you question wanting to see change in people who culturally you share a life with? You know what I'm saying? Like, when do we start setting ourselves up? Like, who has to tell us? They're not holding us at, you know, hostage, right? I say that with a question mark, right? Are they holding us hostage with allowing certain comforts and certain things and inclusivity that is being told that that's what's happening? But I don't see it because in our small community of 48 million,
Hey, yeah.
yeah.
Um, Definitely everything. Oh, hey, Bougie. I had a quick phone.
Hey, that's
Mhm.
okay. I've been talking up here. Like I said, I
I'm hearing
haven't,
everything you
you
say.
know, oh, you don't have to. You can say, girl, what you talking about?
Yeah,
But,
I've been hearing everything you say. I
and
mean,
she
but what
said,
can you
Bougie
say?
said, hold on here. Exactly. And why do they teach 60 hours of classes that barely have to do with your degree? Why can't I just go to school for what I want to know? Exactly. Right. So this is how my brain works. So just based off what you said, right? How is it that you can teach me, but you also give people the opportunity to take a test that equals 60 hours if you are in education? So why am I then? It's money. It's money and people's ego and pride and I want my child to experience what I experienced and on and on. Why people force their wants and desires on the next generation of people. That's why we like tradition. Humans like it. Why do we keep doing the same thing? Why do people keep going in the debt every Christmas? But people do, don't they? The commercials be out. Don't go in the debt during the holidays. It's already been set up. So how is it that we're so astonished by what's going on in our community, and we can't see the path of fixing it? And these are rhetorical. You can jump in at any time.
Yeah, I was looking at. I think the United Negro College Fund still does exist. It says it says they award more than 100 million in scholarships to students attending more than 1,100 schools across the country, including our prestigious network of 37 HBCUs.
37. How many number? What was that number first? A
Now, what
hundred.
it said including our prestigious network of 37 HBCUs.
Mm, very interesting. Why don't HBCUs have their own network? They could. Why don't they sell? You know, why haven't they become where their jerseys and the different things that you can purchase? Those should be where you can. I know regionally, but they should be everywhere Black people are because there's not that many available. So that way, it gives back. It helps keep things like. Why aren't they doing those type of things? Like when you see what's happening, like I'm not saying it like, oh, the magic. I'm saying it's right there in front of you. There's programs for everything now. I should be able to order, like I just did that on my own. This is why I say this. I did it on my own to find out because I want to make dresses with the different cute, like, look cute dresses to go to the football games, right? Or basketball or golf or what the fuck ever, right? Um, and I've learned that it is $500 because I live here in Arizona. It's $500 for me to get licensing for like NAU, I believe. And then like Arizona, I think it's the most expensive. Like I think it's like 1,500. And then I think U of A or NAU, though they range between $500 to $1,500 to get the licensing to make clothes with their logos on it. Have we seen that with HBCUs at all?
You can of course you can get if you visit the college, you can get at the gift shops,
But I'm saying, like, is there a website strictly dedicated to HBCU jerseys and hats and that kind of stuff? Any type of merchandise, shit, a keychain, just so that money can go into the colleges so they can start having better programs. Turn them into medical schools, turn them into teaching colleges. That's what they were. The majority of Black colleges were teaching colleges.
yeah, they
They,
have.
you know what I mean? But 118 colleges and we only have a network of 37. Now that's still more probably than I would say maybe I don't maybe Native American indigenous people's colleges. I think maybe that might be a lesser number. We don't even have a community college to go to the 4-year college if that's what your degree decides. That's all I'm like. When do we do this? And why is it if somebody wants to make those changes, we want to stop them? I'm really lost by that. And then say, well, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is insanity. But that's what we doing. The same thing over and over again. And we expect something different to happen. Maybe this time we gotta really like rock it up. So that's just my thoughts and opinionated. Ooh, Abby. Does it give a synopsis of what the UNICEF does for the students? Ooh, good question, Bougie. I'm not sure. I'm on my phone and I need to find. I might have to use my tablet because I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to click off.
Well, I know they said only there's ways you can donate because 1 out of every 10 students is funded because they don't have all the donations. But they did say they give 100 million away to um, 1,100 schools, including 30 the network of 37 HBCUs. So
How many colleges did you name off? How many schools?
I didn't name off the schools, but they said 1,100 schools.
So 1,100 schools and a network of 37 black colleges. That's all we have
Yeah.
in comparison.
Historically black,
Hmm.
which means that there's other white kids that go there.
Oh, so you say historically black.
That's what
So that,
HBCUs are, historically black.
oh no, I know what they are. I'm
Mhm.
saying I thought you were being funny, like
No, I mean
because
it's still
they.
white kids that go there. You know what I mean?
But I don't have a problem with that. That's not my issue. Like
So it's like,
who goes there is not the issue. Other than the fact that why haven't the opportunities evolved for more black children to have the opportunity to experience going to college with their own?
well, I tell
Why
you,
do we advocate so hard against it?
well, I will tell you this. When I have heard people talk on that when we didn't have segregation anymore, a lot of places that were, um, you know, black owned closed up and we just merged, we just basically gave into you know, desegregation. Not saying we need to desegregate it, but there's a community college around here. It used to be the school that all black kids went to, but now it's just a regular. So the building's still there and the wing is still there where it first started, but they added on to it. But if you looked into the history, it was a school for black where the black kids went. But now, some people might not know that.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because if the history isn't continued,
Yeah, because it doesn't say. I mean, if you go in and look, you might see some stuff, but
we
the
always
name,
don't want to
yeah,
offend anybody else because we say we want it to be black owned, because we say we want it to be culturally identifiable with us. That's bad? I don't think so. I
well,
don't
they
think so
came
at
back and said,
all.
hey, I mean, they came back and said, hey, first we just wanted y'all to go here. Now that we're ready to open it up, time to change the signage.
Money. Money.
So they're like,
It's
when,
money, Alma. It's
when we
money.
get ready, we'll come and change it around.
Hmm. But here's the thing. Now we have the opportunity to start small and have a big impact. College should be free. We should pay for our teachers and educators' homes and their food and all that and let them educate.
Well,
Let them
there's
teach.
programs for that, but you just got to go where there's a need. So with
It's a
teachers,
need, but it's a need everywhere, love. I'm
well,
talking about
where
the
they don't,
United States. I'm just strictly about the United States. That's it. And the black neighborhoods,
right? So there's white
specifically black.
teachers, yeah. So
Hmm.
there's white teachers or there's teachers that will come and teach in those neighborhoods. But the thing is that that's what I mean. Where there's a need, where they probably don't want to, but if they do come and teach, they can get their student loans forgiven. And
So
black people
that
can do it too, but That's what I
But
meant by where there's a need. Um,
but there's a need for good teachers, not these 12-year-olds they keep putting in school. They're not giving them any. They have no social awareness. They don't know how to identify with black children unless they've grown up around them. And that's the thing too. It's not so much as that there are no programs. That's never what I'm saying.
I
But
know.
there is not enough, and we have not set a network up. Whereas instead of competing against each other, we need to be networking to make it larger so we can take a piece of all of that. Everybody at the table can benefit from it. But when I try to have that conversation, I find that I get pushed back as if, I'm sitting here saying I'm the only person in the world that ever thought about this. That's not it. Why can't we on these panels play around with, hey, if we built a city, what would it look like? How can we start it? Do we build homes first? Do we build the schools? We can't even get to that conversation ever because somebody's sensitive. They want to talk up, tell you who gonna be there. What does it matter? Because when it comes down to the get down, the point is that we want to provide things in from coming from us that will then allow us to have money to pour into the things that are necessary. There are five, only five. I don't know what these other panel people be talking about. There are five things that black folks spend their money on. And it ain't Gucci and Prada and all this. And whether black folks in this space want to, tell the truth, if we're not talking about celebrities, we're talking about each other. We beefing, we fighting, but there's never any solution. So then what blows my mind is hypocritically, I'll be chastised because I bring up a point of contention, yet and still you can hop around here and either somebody is wanting to push a religious angle or some extreme ideology instead of the basic human right of let's provide good and safe housing, let's provide strong education, let's provide uh, healthy food and medical and education for our people, those who want to get out, those who want to do it. However, the opportunity ain't there. They offer qualification or they may make too much money. That's crazy to me. If a person is showing you that they want to do it, why not invest in them? I'm just, I think I'm just kind of pent up of these latest conversations I've had to listen to and be a part of. And I'm like, I don't want to keep talking about the same shit. I don't, I have nothing to say about it. Dubai is flooding because it's messing around with its own. It was giving itself its own rain.
Another thing I wanted to tell you was I just now came to mind because I was watching something. Um, they're saying a lot of our money goes into, because I know we have a lot of pop-up churches, but they're saying a lot of the money in our community go to churches.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say,
no, but you're
not
right
just
though.
paying tithes. I'm talking about
No,
when they went to
because
my
it's a
aunt and
talk.
them
It's
said when they
a.
went.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what'd you say?
No, no, no. Go ahead and finish.
Because
I
I
got a
didn't hear
little
what
bit of a
you said.
delay. Yeah, because we was talking at the same time. So you go ahead and say what you was gonna say. Go ahead.
So um yeah, my aunt and them was saying when they went to TD Jakes and them services for offering, they pass around trash cans and there is an ATM inside of the church. So, that's one big thing that just maybe if we could just redirect some things or, share the wealth, because you already got tithes going into church.
You
I'm
are
not trying to
correct,
say,
Alma.
yeah.
Right there. redirected. This is money recycled. That's what we get. We get recycled money. It recycles into our neighborhoods for a hot second. Black people's money stay in a community for 6 seconds. 6 seconds. Because the minute we get paid, where does it go? Utilities, we ain't a part of that in no kind of way. Gas, we ain't got no control over that. Transportation, again, no control. Insurance companies and car payments. Your job, you can't control that this is how much you make, but you live in a country that has turned us all into consumers. That's why growing your food sounds like some daunting feat. They did that on purpose. It was engineered that way. Let's get them working for us another way. And that's it. That's all that happened. We were allowed freedoms. We still live in a country that our right to vote is not etched in stone. None of it is, really.
I mean, because you can't be so predictable all the time. Because I was listening to Mama D, and it did sound like I didn't sound like she was being a hater, but she's like, I seen that new vehicle you got, girl. She was talking to one of the other ladies. She was like, you gotta remember, you can't show everything. Now, when that's what I mean by that is conspicuous consumption.
Well, again, here's what I will say to that. Do what you will with your money. Okay? Not my problem, not my issue. I'm not forcing. What I'm saying is small groups of us. You know how, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to keep it fun because I don't want to go. I don't think it should be a sad conversation about the economics and building something. So, for instance, how you and I have talked about the different things that we want to do and see happen, right? So,
Mhm.
if I have a construction company and you're trying to create a safe space for young children or young girls, right?
Right.
There's two things that should be happening in that conversation. As a fellow human being running a business, I should see what can I do to help you. And if I can't help you, who else can we? We talk about networking, but networking for what, right? Because you could be networking and it don't pan out to nothing. So you're networking to put yourself in a position where not that you're working harder, you're just now able to delegate a piece of your plan to someone who has the same thought process as you and is going to make sure that part is taken care of because it's just as important to them. So I come to you and I say, listen, I'm gonna build a shopping center, but I'm gonna put you here. You will only have to either pay XYZ or we'll come up with something else because I know yours is not. And then I'm going to, everybody else around us, the businesses, they can cover the charge of what that would be for me. The businesses that are not nonprofit, right? This happens all the time in business. People's families create an economy. We say that we talk about other cultures all the time, but we don't talk about the planning within it. It's not so much as that they're better than us. We know that this plan works because we don't watch our mother, our grandmama, all these folks take care of folk out of one paycheck. If we don't know how to manage no money, come on now. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking as a black woman. I watch my mama take care of all of us on one paycheck and still meet all of the requirements of school and get us what that was her. But everybody ain't like that.
Um, and everybody doesn't have that type of, you know, home
Initiative.
training.
Right. Thank you. So that is us as a society. If we know that, because I hear it all the time out here, we know that there are different lanes and paths within our community. When I say community, I'm speaking of the community that I speak of. Excuse me. is the community of working people, whether you have your bachelor's degree, associates, you got a trade degree, whatever you've done, whether you dropped out, whether you just got your GED, whatever, but you out here working. You out here trying to make it work. You have a business, or you trying to be a viable citizen, and we should assist those people first. Help the citizens that's already trying, get them over the hump. That's more people to help us pull up more people off the street. We don't have our own drug rehab centers. That's why half of the majority of the crimes, especially where black people are concerned, is drugs.
And I think more people need to be educated on, because that gatekeeping stuff is real. And I think a
Yeah,
lot of people more like having talks like this, they need to be educated on, like you said, finances,
right.
how to maneuver and navigate out literally out here in this world,
How to
because
shop, how to buy food, how to
strategy,
cook.
structure, and order.
We
Yeah,
don't
how
have
to buy food,
anything.
how to save it, how to
Yeah,
keep it
right.
right so you're not wasting, and
And you know what?
yeah. I mean,
If I
that's a big
say,
thing too. Like, look how much food we probably waste. You
well,
might
here's
cook
what
too
they did.
much. But
Yeah, food waste. Again, human beings hiding behind words, saying that, oh, well, the reason we don't give the food away is because we don't want to be sued by someone getting sick after it's been thrown away in the trash. Okay, really? Really?
they giving that food away in the
Other
goddamn grocery
countries,
stores.
other countries know the waste that we accumulate.
Hmm.
So my whole thing is, now it's time, because I'm still going to be asking these questions. Hope to still be having conversations with people and connect and network in that way. But if you and I ain't on the same lane, I don't need to hear what you got to say, really. And it has nothing to do with money or anything like that. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to waste my time with somebody that you don't do that. It makes no sense. Of
Yeah,
course
and
you want
somebody having
somebody
a
next to
question.
you. Yeah,
That's
that that's
that's
different. No, no, I'm
yeah,
saying
that's a
business
try.
partners. Right.
Yeah,
Business partners.
that's
You
a
coming
try.
in, right. Come and talk. Bring that in. Let's have a conversation. I think everybody should have a seat at the table. If we was gonna have a black alliance, let's just say that, right? I was to put together a black alliance. That's every black person. There has to be, even the black people we don't agree with. We need to know. We need to plan. We need to become strategic. And nothing is foolproof. Somebody gonna run their mouth. We already know it.
Right.
But as long as that one monkey ain't stopping the show, and if we feel that if somebody suspected, they got to go.
Yeah. Gonna have to ask you to
Oh, I ain't
um
playing. I'm all
gonna have
about my
to
black. I'm all
yeah.
about the culture. If I'm going to gatekeep, let's do it right. We don't have museums across the country. You said 11,000 schools and 37 historically black colleges. That's
Hmm.
like that's like weighing four pennies against a bag of quarters. Splendid. Welcome, love. What are we doing?
And claiming that those 37 are not producing, the type of talent that,
But the
society.
majority of football teams are what?
Oh yeah.
Why don't we benefit off our own people?
I don't understand that.
I
Even after
don't. I
Kaepernick took
Yeah,
the knee, they still went out there and
because tradition. Yeah, it's tradition. They know what they gonna get. But if that's what you love and that's what you want and that's what you want to do, no fault to you. I'm speaking about the folks who swear up and down They want to see community change. Are
But
we
I'm not.
need
But that and that's fine. Nobody, like you said, nobody's hating on nobody. But I'm not going to do all this playing football for you to turn right back around and lock me back up.
exactly?
Soon
And
as
that's
something, you know
exactly
what
what
I
they'll
mean?
do. We need to have
Driving.
social
Yeah.
social classes for young black men so they can see the signs of a woman or a guy trying to take advantage of you. We need to talk to our men the way we talk to our girls. Now we'll scare the shit out of our females, but we need to scare the shit out of our boys too. Well, you know what's splendid? I think what it is that we network for what? What's the plan? You can network, but I think a lot of times when black folks say that, and I really I hate to be this way, but when people say, "Oh, we network," bruh, networking at the strip club is not the same. Okay, that's not the same thing. You can't tell me you networking and y'all making an album. No, we talking about community based stuff. Let's talk about building infrastructure. So I've been doing, I told you all the time, I do research all the time. I double and triple check, my information from when I first started to now, just so that I am fresh and aware if there's any new changes, right?
Right.
So I wanted to find out legally, where can I earth build across the country?
Mm-hmm.
So I can build, of course, here in Arizona, and I can build in Kentucky. Now, Kentucky is one of the poorest states in the United States. One of the poorest. There's black folks there living in poverty, going to work every day, barely making it, trying to get by, and talented.
But that's
They
something
could.
because my cousin she moved to Kentucky because it's also a lot of some foreigners in Kentucky too.
Oh yeah, because of the money.
Right, and
It
she
brings in. Yeah.
wow.
So it's like, just because you want to create something else, now you're quick to tell me to go create another baby, but building a a, a structure is harder than raising a child. I don't think so. I think building a structure is easy compared to raising a child, because once the structure is built, that's it. And if you do it right, it's very low maintenance. That's not children at all. Kids need maintenance all the time. And that's what's so crazy to me. You'll say, point your fingers at single moms. Tell me, chocolate, you need a man. Go build it. That ain't true. You can't build nothing. Wow, I feel like I'm on the playground. Cause I'm a girl. I can't do it. Okay. So
Black people, it's just,
it's not.
it's just,
Baby.
it's just. I'm just because I'm just
What you
looking.
gotta say? What you looking at?
Well, I'm
Are you?
looking. I'm scrolling through here, just looking at some black people here, and it's just they're so
What's
thirsty
going
for
on?
like
For
they're just.
attention? Is that what you mean for attention?
It's the mindset.
What you mean? Explain,
The
please. I'm
mindset.
I'm interested.
All of our money is going to hair, nails, weave, Chinese food.
No, that's not true.
This girl is stuffing it down her throat right now. She's
She's
a
probably doing
millionaire.
a
She's sitting here
mukbang.
stuffing her throat while there's other people, and she's already big. And while
So
there's other people who don't have anything to eat. It's the
then,
mind frame that we have.
well, that sounds like to me, she's one or two things are happening. She's a person who is doing a mukbang where people like to watch you
No,
eat.
she's sitting in a hair salon. Probably about to
Okay.
leave in.
But here's my thing.
And
Alma.
I don't. I mean, it's. I don't have a problem with that stuff. But you mean to tell me it's worth your life? It's worth
Yes, some
you
people,
getting
yes.
sick. It's worth
Yes.
It's
Yes,
just,
love. People been dying for beauty forever. That's not new. And I'm just gonna say this for the record. We have to stop doing that to each other. So what? Because a person buy weave or nails or
you're not
eyelashes.
stopping it because I've been there and done that. I got
And it's
I got wigs, human hair,
but the
beautiful
only
wigs,
reason, but that's what I'm saying, Alma, the only reason
but
it's
I
a
don't
big
need to place them on
issue.
top of my head. Yeah, I have them.
But here's the thing, Alma, but that is where how you feel about it
I'm
and
not
how
gonna
you
spend my last on that though. When I
but
could
that's
just comb
how
my hair down and give, still give.
well what did you say? Everybody's not the same,
But that's
right?
what I'm saying. So why are we complaining? If that's
We're
what you
not
want to do, then go ahead and do it. But we know
I
that
don't
money is
know.
going.
I really don't know why we're complaining about these things. I don't. But the one thing I will say is this: I'm not here to stop that. Whatever, that's always gonna be
But you say
beauty.
that you want to redirect and you want infrastructure.
Yes, we can
That is where the
redirect.
majority of our money is going to
No, it's
fictitious
mama. No,
consumption.
it's not. No, Amma. The majority of the black income
It's going
goes
where?
to transportation, education, health. Those are the spaces are in transportation. I think did I say that twice? I'm sorry. So it's health, our educational debt, transportation, food, and our housing. There's no way. There's not just black people buying this hair that's coming into this country. There's no way. It's not enough of us. That is that is a there has not been one company, survey company, that has gone out to really get the stats of black communities across this country. Because the one that
You
does
can look
have
at any two
statistics,
eyes.
huh? But what you see with your eyes ain't far enough. You have to see beyond that, don't you? We have to see beyond it. Ain't that's why we call it the big picture? Because right what's in front of your eyes
But
can
when you're
be,
talking about money, it's something called every dollar.
but I don't need to do that when the government is sitting on billions of dollars in grants that we can use to better our own community. I think that's why I said the network and the plan. There is never a plan talked about. There's a way to get the money and divert it. And it has nothing to do with weave or fingernails. The hair industry has put a lot of black women in the positions they are today. A lot of that same hair and weave you talking about has made millionaires, black families, men and women both, with the hair beauty supplies and things like that in the hair if they do sell it. But that's a small amount in comparison to the people who produce it and sell it.
But it's not good for you.
Who said? We've been wearing wigs for centuries.
And you've been getting bugs in your scalp for centuries then.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then the people of different cultures have been wearing
You
hair
just said it was
or
past what your eyes can see. You
yes,
don't see what's in that stuff. It's on all in your head and
yes,
in your
you
scalp and
can
stuff.
you can see what's in it. We have the ability to do it. It's called a microscope. It's called that the people have to put the things on there for a reason so that we're not trying to take each other out, because we know that there are human beings who will sell horrible products just for a profit, and they don't care if human bodies are are lost in the process. That's for everything, every single industry that we live in.
It shows what's important to you.
In
And
our society, what's important to us is the dollar bill, and then maybe family. Uh, no, I'm sorry, your business or company, then your family, and everybody else supposed to come behind it. I'm sorry, God, the dollar. because God is on, the references to God is on the dollar bill. The piece of paper that we use to trade services and goods with. That's all it is. But you need to have a lot of that so that you can get a lot of the services or better services because it's more expensive, because in our heads indoctrinating that cheap is bad, and the more expensive it is, the better off you'll be. That's not true. Because we keep this ideology of either pick one side or the other, we miss a large group of the community. Some of us do, but the things that we're trying to correct are people's characteristics, are people's expressions. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the paychecks. I'm talking about the insurance. I'm talking about the fact that we need more hospitals. And do you not think that black women doing their hair, and if instead of them getting the services from this culture, they get the same services, better services at a reasonable price from their own community? What do you think they would choose? Where they can be themselves. That's all I'm talking about, is replacing, not taking away, but replacing the things that our community buys the most of. Food, clothing for their kids, medical supplies, taking care of the elderly. We need homes for black elderly people because they don't have space for that. You have these nursing homes that are under investigation, not
But what
once,
are
not
you willing to
twice.
sacrifice to do that?
Who, me? I'm willing. I've already.
Because it's the small fox that spoils the vine.
But what is it that I have to sacrifice?
Well, when I was mentioning the conspicuous consumption, you said it was okay for people to go buy what they want to buy.
Yes.
And when you're talking about money, there's something called every dollar, which means that every dollar needs to be accounted for
But by who? Who says this though?
by you and your household.
But we're not talking about just me and my household. I'm saying the things that will affect and better other people's households. Because when it comes down to the bottom line, if you can
But
provide affordable housing, affordable food, whatever money they making, working from wherever they work, and they can get the things they want to, people across the world do it. This is not anything that is unheard of. I just think that because we haven't seen it, and we haven't seen it be successful, that the only thing we believe is that the only way this going to work is we got to have a whole bunch of money. And it's not true. If we become an economic giant within our own community, that's the bargaining chip. That's all we got. We don't got nothing else right now. If we become those ecosystems, locally, statewide, and then nationally, we got the internet. We can connect anywhere. I could be talking to you from a yacht right now. I wish, but I'm not. However, I'm just saying, that I'm not saying what you are saying is wrong in any kind of way. What I'm saying is my perspective of it, my
Mhm.
thought process is the economics behind it. I can't worry about, I'm not trying to spiritually torment or cleanse anyone. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind about how they feel about poor people, working poor, whatever. But unless you step back and see how all of these pieces are connected, and now I've honed in on, okay, we'll start here. This is my contribution. And hopefully my contribution will help other people's contributions. All I'm talking about is decent schools and competing colleges and some hospitals and clinics and places for our own to be taken care of so they can be viable citizens, that our elderly are going out of here with respect and dignity. That's what I'm talking about. That's that's what I mean by it. Not correcting someone's desire to want or want to buy something, because somebody gonna buy it anyway.
So where are you going to get the money if you don't use disposable income from other black people? I mean, where is this money coming from?
What money
You
are
said
you
the
talking
government.
about? Um,
You
well, of
said to
course it's
build
going.
hospitals, schools.
Yes,
Where's
yes.
the money going to come from?
Well, the money is gonna come from the system of, I have one business going. Once I have the second business going, now we start funneling in money back into the next business. We don't start doing the next step until the first step is successful. I'm starting soft. I'm starting slow because I want it to last. I want it to be something left behind for my own personally and anyone else who can benefit from it. Because how do we want to encourage our children to be black doctors and, oh, we need you to be, we need them in the medical field, but yet do we have, black scholarships for black kids to go to medical school? Do we have housing created so our kids can go to medical school if we are such a smaller community? I don't see why we can't take care of our own so that they can get through the different things in our society that we know they need help. And then we want to sit back and go, well, they grown. That's not my business. If people really, really believe that, the things that are here for us now wouldn't be here. Other people thought about us that never met us. So that's what I mean. It has no point fingers, you right or wrong. I'm not even on that. I'm on the, if we take care of our own, there's money on the table where everybody can benefit and we can make a good quality product and everybody can walk away feeling like, okay, my business is allowing me to truly give back to my community as well as feel like a human being in this earth, on this earth, as a spirit, whatever my spirit. That's my way of giving back to the creator, which I believe in, is that let's help people where they are. And that's it. I don't want to sit in we make judgments all the time. That's not the chair I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on the chair that goes, okay, let's triage it. We need to get people off the street. We need to get children off the street, pregnant women off the street. There are numbers of pregnant women across the country having babies in the streets. Why don't they have somewhere to go? And then we'll say, well, they probably drug addicts or they probably, you never is it, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a runaway, maybe something happened. It could be many, many paths to how they got there. But why isn't there an opportunity or something created so that this, if it happens, you have a safe space to go? That's all. And we have all these different black networks or different nonprofits, different things that we do, and we should be networked across the country. And we not. You got to do some serious searching when you're looking for black nonprofits that are socially driven. I'm not talking about the ones that may work with other people and that kind of thing. I'm not saying that they don't have it, but it obviously is not enough to make anything press forward. So I don't, I'm, you know, I've really tried to be unbiased, but I am biased. I'm
I,
very biased.
I agree with what you're saying. I just don't know. I'm just saying, if we want to build stuff, then you're gonna have to have the money to do it,
Of
and
course, you're gonna have that
you
money to
have to
do it,
come
but
from
there's
because you still got people that got to pay their mortgage or their rent, but then they all, for now, until we get our own stuff, they still have to pay for what they have.
of
And
course that's
so,
why right. That's why I say replace it. Replace what we want to purchase. Find out um you know, let's really find out what's going on and like a real pulse of Black America because there hasn't been one. Hey, Nightish, welcome, love. You
yeah,
hit the link. You're more than welcome. Um, but we really haven't. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like when, for me, Ama, as a businesswoman, I'll answer your question as far as like where would the money come from.
yeah,
So
because I
my
work in
whole
finance, so
well, here's what this is why my friend and I we call it. Well, they say that too. I think in finance, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but we have creative financing, right? Because with why I'm starting slow, why I have been okay bumping my head and not, how should I say, and not see that even though I do have the whole plan in my head and I have the whole plan written on paper and all of the things that are necessary to move, you know, blueprints, all that, the money has to be a waterfall because nobody's not going to give me a loan for what I'm about to do. So let's say, like I told you, here in Arizona, what I have found out, what I've learned over the time, new laws have come into play, so on and so forth. Um, the money can come from the government for me. If I provide housing to assist people, if I create a true from, maybe they getting out of a prison, but not for like whatever type of crime, I guess, however they do it. But there's money coming from that if you house, different people. People get they checks every month, so on and so forth. If I make it affordable housing, then the person, whether they got income or not, the government will pay me. That money can then be poured into the next business. Now that's me personally. That way the overhead is low for me. I can pay people what they really worth when they work for me, and I'm not beholding to stockholders because what I'm doing is just pouring money from one place to the next. Because I'm starting from the ground up. I won't have. I'll be getting grants. I'm really trying to stay away from the loans.
how
Just
long is it gonna take you to get a grant?
there's a
Usually,
few grants, couple months, depending on who they are, depending on how many people have applied. And like I said, it's not a waiting list here for people for Black folks or however in agriculture or building communities or building housing for that matter. So I don't think I would have to wait as long as a person who maybe might be in your city or somewhere else. So
well,
that's one thing. That's one, right? Then there's my YouTube channel. So once the lights come on and people see me building, that's it. That is all that I want to just show the process from the beginning to the end. Um, that's another form. This channel right here, I can take it. as far as I would like to with building and talk and exploring and talking about what's going on that's affecting us. Um, the greenhouse itself. I plan to just run a feed, a separate channel where I just run a feed where you could just watch everything grow because people like it.
Yeah.
And as long as the consistency is there, my biggest issue, my two biggest issues, of course, but my biggest issue that derailed a lot of what was happening or how my timeline I wanted it to be a certain is my health. My health has been a huge impact, bigger than I'd ever expected, and I wasn't prepared for it. So now I know what to do, right? I'm thankful I can get kind of like a second chance because I'm starting over in that regard. But I can see where there's money that can be gotten from other forms other than me fundraising or just straight up asking people for money. I want to provide a service. So that's there. Yeah. Yeah, splendid. And then once as we, you know how it go, as things as that those wheels start to turn and once things start moving and they're coming all into place, but I'm not making the next move until I meet a particular goal with the first one. Instead of thinking I gotta jump out the window and I need all this money out the gate, that's why I said I'll just start small. Those who have, um, you know, assisted me along the way, that also puts me in a position where now they can benefit faster sooner than later. Because regardless, people are still suffering out here. And like places like, oh, another earthback building is also legal in California. And you know the homeless situation there. So I get what I got going on here up and running. That gives me an opportunity to go, hey, I'll come and do that in your back of the woods, but I need this check cut. I need this amount of money, or I need this space. Blah 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 blah. There's many ways to do it, Alma. Yeah, it's the hard knuckle way, but because I want it to last.
Yeah, like I told you, because um you know it takes time. It takes time, and so
Yeah.
I mean people have stuff that goes on, so that's expected now. Um, and it's good that, like you say, you're not giving no deadlines, you're not giving no promises about when.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, because when,
Mm-mm.
especially when you're trying to do something, by yourself, and it's, things
Yeah.
happen, but it's gonna happen. It just takes time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just like anything else. The trees that we see now, that at one point in time, they
Yep.
were nothing but a seed.
Yep.
So it's like, I also take that accountability. Hey, are you doing too much? Should you rethink this? Girl, I'm always sitting down and read. Like, I get a moment, I'll sit down and rework something, especially if I've heard something different or something's changing business wise or stocks or interest or rich folks start doing weird stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what they're doing over here. What's happening? Um, there hasn't been a big boom as far as business is concerned and since the tech industry started, right? We have not seen um I think, well, let me take that back. The next huge the next big thing was now the fast food era, delivery era. You can deliver and you can deliver things all over the country, all over the city, all over the world, right? But then a woman, a black woman, just lost her
Um,
life
yeah, I seen that in Ohio.
being a driver, and Uber is not doing nothing. And so I don't like Uber anyway because I think they shady. And there was somewhere in Baltimore. Don't quote me. I might be wrong, but there was you know, they were fighting back and saying, "Hey, you're not paying us. You're not doing. You're not la la la." Instead of doing right by these people, they picked up stakes. Uber left the area. Now I'm not sure. I thought it was Baltimore, but it might be another major city where a predominantly black major city. Because like I was saying last night, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." You think that the stuff we buy when we go don't help they culture better they self in some way? They don't use the money to keep their kids ahead of everybody else's kids. Humans are humans. You want your baby to be smart and strong and able to handle themselves and to function in this world without you because we're not promised. Well, I don't have babies, you know, but I have my nephews and they are babies right now. They at that age. You
Right.
know, they are 10 and below.
Yeah.
So in the next 10 years, I want my nephews to be proud. I want my nieces to be proud that they got a badass aunt. You know what I'm saying? That I'm trying to make sure that their life in this society is still ran by who has the most. And then what are you doing with that most? They call them corporations, but these are like ex mob bosses and different people who was criminals at one point, and you know, companies that they can't ever do this, but they put their money in that.
No, because what I was gonna tell you was, and I know that stuff will break you too, like all that conspicuous consumption, like them Chanel purses, Louis Vuitton.
Unless you got a problem.
No, you go on Instagram. You got people right on there trying to sell that stuff back to people, like the used
Well,
bags and
don't
all
they?
that. Because I was like, if it's so great, why are you trying to resell it?
Because they need some money.
Because after a while it piles up and it piles up on your bank account.
Depending on how you
You
running it.
talk about 10, 20,000 for 5, 10, 20,000, 1,000 for a purse.
I don't know anybody. I really don't. Personally, that's ever spent that kind of money on a bag. And I don't think, even if I had that kind of money, I would spend that on a bag.
But even
But that's
100,
me.
if you really don't, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. You talking to the girl that grew up with Payless, right? Where you went got your shoes and a handbag that matched. So, yep.
Right. And you can get a bunch of those for less. Like, as
But
long as you
but
know how
then
to put
Payless,
yourself together, you
but a
can get
lot of people
20 bags
don't.
for the price of one.
But a lot of people don't. You
They
know
don't
how?
think
Okay,
like that.
nah, that's not it. Listen, check this out. You watch cable, right? Are you a channel surfer? I'm a channel surfer.
Yeah, I used to watch cable.
Yeah, okay. How many black channels we got?
I'm gonna say none because BET come to find out that was it's black people
That
on there, but
Yeah, they ain't on that since the 90s. Um
find out.
Now, okay. So in, let's just say, 20 years of cable, there's no black show about financing. There's no black shows about house building. There's no black, home and garden channels. And black people do all these things. No
Yeah.
black tech channel. Um, yeah, nope. And so then we want to pepper it and go, oh well, it's good enough because at least I'm the token here. Look,
Well,
I
I watch that stuff because I go on the BB Toomey and watch all kinds of stuff. They got their
no, no,
own
no. But
they got
that's what
their
I'm
own,
saying.
it's called a
Yeah.
BB Toomey TV.
And who is that now?
A BB Toomey.
Okay.
Nobody like Kim Bone and his wife and
Now, see, I don't know them, but as a person in a business, I would go, okay, there's a segment of people who listen to you, right? We'll give you a show. You can come on at X and whatever. We don't even have a black religious channel where all religions of black people in this country should be available for them. Whether you are a Buddhist, a Muslim, a Christian, whatever, there should be a seat at the table. As long as you are not trying to take your religious ideology or your own personal ideology and push it down the throats of anybody else, it's just like us on YouTube.
girl.
We
Now the
can,
people that got mad at God and now they talking about the church. Now they church mad. What it church hurt and church mad and people's doing all this stuff in churches and
well, because
all you could see
again,
how much money them pastors was getting. His wife was up there telling this other woman because she was like, the woman was asking, she was like, you have a huge entourage. She was like, that's my staff, and you can do those things when you can afford it. That's how much money is going to the church. Which I don't have a problem with, but it's some of
I
them
do.
people who are sitting up here. And TD Jakes, he got that $1 billion. He brought property right beside that huge property that Tyler Perry bought because
Well,
Wells Fargo gave him because they had the big thing about where they got caught up being racist, and so they granted TD Jakes $1 billion to try to start up. He's starting some apartments, and he went and bought some property right beside a huge property right beside Tyler Perry. I said, I'm
sound
not.
like sound like a
I'm
cult
not
to
getting ready
me.
to be having trying to get black people to come over there and be doing
Yes,
free.
and there's gonna be black people that do it.
I'm not trying to do, and it's people like that who get the funding. I'm not, you know what? I know everybody has their day, they
What?
put them out or whatever, but I'm not trying, like TDJ's okay. I'm not trying to live up under you after you've been doing,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. I got what you're saying. Who are you to all
If
that
that's
you
what
have
black people got to
said?
do, I'm not getting ready to do that.
That's why I said I was on a panel the other day, and I was just like, well, why is it? Because everybody was talking about religion. Look, I am not saying that, you know, you shouldn't have the creator in your mindset or thought process. But again, that comes back to what I was saying about ideologies. If you up here trying to tell me who I can help and who I can't help based off of a religious text, then no, I can't. I don't get down like that.
Or based off of some weird stuff you can do. And that's I think I heard you
Hmm.
say earlier, people, we have, obstacles to where people like, who all's gonna be there?
Yeah.
No.
And you're like, but what does that matter when we can help? We talking about, oh, y'all don't listen to the men and the boys is in trouble. And then when I ask, well, what y'all doing? What's the goal?
We talking about, like you said, you don't see the setup, like they trying to entrust money with certain black people that's doing
Yes.
stuff, thinking
Cause
that
they doing
lead us to the slaughter. Yeah, no. We
they
better hurry up
doing
and do our own stuff before we
that's
be
what I
over
keep
there
saying.
in this fake
Before
section
we
8.
are right, before we out here
Right.
having to play games like everybody else. And
TD
like I
Jakes
said,
telling us what
no,
to do, sis. Like,
TD Jakes can't tell me nothing ever
yeah,
in life.
right. But these are the people who get,
Never.
like, what you're trying to do. You might couldn't get a little bit, but they give him a whole billion
They don't want to give
because
it to
they know
me
that
because I don't. Right.
he's
I'm
going to
not
be an
going to
agent of chaos.
bring, yeah, I'm not going to bring that black church money. I'm not going to bring that black celebrity money. I'm
Right.
not that person. So, but
You're
I
not
like
gonna
it
go
like that though,
behind.
because I
Right.
don't
You're not
have
gonna
to
go and
then, right? I
yeah.
have no alliances to any segment of black people. I have no alliances when it comes to, oh,
Right.
well, you can't do, yeah, we need it all. Come on,
Tyler
pick up,
Perry,
let's
honey.
go, girl, please. I
Be
don't want
like,
to hang out with
okay. I'll be
any
like,
of
one
these
more thing,
folks.
y'all. Tyler Perry's next door. You
I'm gonna be like, no, he not. Because some stuff has come up for me that have sped up my timeline. And so I had to sit down and rewrite my plan. So I have to go about it a different way, but it's still happening. So, I mean, it's just, if you determine and you want it, that's what you're going to do. And I appreciate supporters like you, supporters like everybody in the chat that have been down and who've encouraged me to keep going and keep pushing, because I know that what really
you're
opened
gonna
my eyes
section
was
us off eventually.
during COVID, let me know that we had no one to look out for our elderly people. We had nobody looking out for the babies, the domestics, none of that. We had nothing set up. If something really popped off again, we're not prepared. As a community, we should be prepared. But everyone has to sit at the table. And it can't be about your biases of gender or affiliation or any of that. We sitting here talking about how can we take care of our own and make money. Who does what and when and where and how. Period, point blank. So I'm going to wrap it up. We're getting close to this 2 hours. I wanted to get myself some what's the name hours, some watch hours. And like I said, a lot of changes are happening in the background. So that's why I apologize. I'm not here regularly. But I can say that that's changing slowly and then it'll change fast. You know how it goes. However, I appreciate you coming up, Alma. I'm glad we got this talk. Always listening. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And I appreciate it. I don't care how many people are in here. I appreciate it. So y'all have a good one, a best one, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.